Hello, Barça fans, and welcome back to another Camp Nou renovation update. First of all, wherever you are watching from, I want to wish you a very happy Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a peaceful day with family, loved ones, and of course, plenty of Barça conversations. Now, even though today is Christmas Day and much of Barcelona is quiet, one thing that doesn't stop is the countdown to our return home. We are now exactly 4 weeks and 3 days away from the next match at Camp Nou, and honestly, the progress we've seen over the past few days has been very eye-pleasing. Every new update makes it clearer that this stadium is slowly but surely coming back to life. Today we'll go through the most important developments, focusing especially on areas where progress has become more visible and meaningful. We'll also talk about what this means for the team, for the fans, and for the future of this incredible club. So sit back, relax, grab your coffee or hot chocolate, and let's take a proper look at what's happening at Camp Nou today. Now let's dive deeply into what is arguably the most important area right now, the third tier. Since this December period began, there has been very intense activity in this section. One thing that has become increasingly noticeable is the number of huge metallic rings and structural materials that have been lifted up to the third tier area. These are not small components. These are large, heavy elements that usually only get installed when a structure is already well prepared to receive them. And from what we can observe, this lifting activity is not stopping. It looks like even more materials are set to be lifted up again. If you compare the third tier today to how it looked just a few weeks ago, the difference is significant. Many more structures are now clearly visible on top. The area looks more complete, more organized, and far more advanced than before. But let's talk about what this actually means in practical terms. The third tier is critical because it represents a massive portion of the stadium's increased capacity. Once complete, Camp Nou will hold over 105,000 spectators, making it the largest stadium in Europe once again. The third tier alone will add thousands of seats, and more importantly, it will completely transform the stadium's silhouette and presence. What we're seeing now with these metallic rings is the final structural skeleton being put in place. These rings will support the roof panels, the seating platforms, and eventually all the safety and accessibility features that modern stadiums require. The pace of work here has been remarkable. Cranes have been operating almost continuously, and the coordination between different construction teams has been flawless. This is why reports suggesting that the third tier could be very advanced and potentially close to readiness within the next 3 months are starting to sound realistic. Now let's move down to the ground level, specifically the chipped area that many of you have been asking about. Some weeks ago, I updated you about parts of the ground level being chipped. That was an important phase because it usually signals preparation for further structural or installation work. Let me explain why chipping happens in the first place. When you're renovating a stadium of this size and complexity, you often need to remove sections of existing concrete to install new foundations, piping, electrical systems, or drainage. The chipping process essentially opens up the ground so that modern infrastructure can be embedded properly. If we look at that same area today, it's important to be honest. We haven't seen major visible progress yet. There's no dramatic change on the surface, and that's okay. Not every phase shows instant results. However, what is interesting and very important is that several metal structures have now been grouped close to that area. These materials didn't appear there by accident. This usually means the groundwork is being finalized and that the next phase is about to begin. In construction, materials are delivered and staged right before they're needed. It's a logistic strategy that prevents clutter and ensures efficiency. So when you see metal beams, panels, or equipment suddenly appear near a work zone, it's a clear sign that activity is about to ramp up. So while the surface may look calm for now, the signs suggest that activity in this area is about to intensify. This is one of those moments where patience is required, because when work starts here, progress can happen very quickly. I've seen this pattern before during the renovation. An area will look quiet for days or even a week, and then suddenly, within 48 hours, the transformation is dramatic. Foundations get poured, structures get installed, and the entire zone changes completely. Make sure you keep your notifications on, because the moment there's a clear change in this section, I'll bring you the update immediately. This is one area I'm watching very closely, and I expect movement very soon. Another very noticeable development is happening on the exterior walls of the stadium. Some workers have been seen actively painting sections of the exterior, and this is being done alongside the installation of the decorative panels. This is a very strategic move. The idea here is simple but effective. Once the decorative panels are fully installed, the painted exterior will already be prepared, allowing the stadium to immediately look clean, modern, and visually impressive. This stage marks an important shift in the renovation process. It's the moment where the stadium doesn't just progress structurally, but also starts to transform aesthetically. This is when the visual identity of the new Camp Nou truly begins to take shape. Let's talk about those decorative panels for a moment. These aren't just random designs. They're carefully crafted elements that reflect Barcelona's identity. The colors, the patterns, the materials, everything has been chosen to represent the club's history, its values, and its connection to the city. When fans approach the stadium on match day, the first thing they'll see is this exterior. It needs to inspire. It needs to communicate power, elegance, and pride. And based on what we're seeing now, the new Camp Nou will absolutely deliver on that front. The painting work is also more complex than it seems. It's not just about applying color. It involves surface preparation, weather-resistant coatings, and precise application techniques to ensure durability. Remember, this is a structure that will face sun, rain, wind in the test of time. Every layer matters. For fans walking around the stadium, these changes will be some of the most noticeable and satisfying ones. It's the phase where the stadium starts to feel finished rather than under construction. It's also the phase where anticipation builds even more. Because when the exterior starts looking this good, you know the inside is getting ready too. Finally, let's talk about the broader ground level works, especially in the central part of the lateral sector, the areas closest to the north goal, and the parking ramps. Progress here has been slow but steady, and that's exactly how this kind of work should be. Day by day, small changes are becoming visible, and more importantly, different sections are starting to link together. The parking ramps in particular are beginning to connect more clearly with the stadium's access points. This is a crucial step because it directly affects how fans will enter and exit the stadium on match days. Think about it. On a big match day, Camp Nou will welcome over 100,000 people. That's an entire city arriving and leaving within a short time window. If the access points aren't designed properly, if the parking flow isn't smooth, if the ramps don't connect efficiently, the entire experience suffers. Good access, smooth flow, and proper circulation are just as important as what happens inside the stadium. These developments show that functionality and fan experience are being taken seriously. I've also noticed that the paving work around these areas is improving. The surfaces are being leveled, drainage systems are being installed, and pathways are being marked more clearly. These might seem like minor details, but they make a huge difference on match day. The lateral sector work is also progressing nicely. This area will house important facilities, including media zones, VIP access, and potentially some commercial spaces. Getting this right is essential for the stadium's long-term operations. Piece by piece, everything is starting to align, and that alignment is what gives me confidence that the timeline is realistic and achievable. So overall, on this 25th of December, with exactly 4 weeks and 3 days to go, the progress at Camp Nou continues to move in the right direction. From the strong advancements at the third tier, to preparations at ground level, exterior painting, and access improvements, the stadium is clearly entering a very important phase. Every update brings us closer. Every piece of progress reminds us why this project matters. This isn't just about building a stadium, it's about creating a home, a fortress, a symbol of everything FC Barcelona represents. Now, before I go, I want to ask you something important. If you've been enjoying these updates, If they've been keeping you informed and excited about our return home, please take a second to hit that like button. It helps this channel reach more Barça fans around the world who are just as eager for these updates as you are. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. Click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We're in the final stretch now and things are going to move fast. You don't want to miss a single development. Also, drop a comment below and let me know. What are you most excited to see when Camp Nou reopens? Is it the third tier, the new exterior, or just being back home with the team? I read every comment and I love hearing from you. Thank you for spending part of your Christmas day here with me. I truly appreciate your support, your comments, and your trust in these updates. I'll continue monitoring everything closely and bringing you only accurate, reliable information. Once again, Merry Christmas, and let's keep counting down together.